Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to break down complex topics into, well, something you can really grasp.
Glad to be here.
Today we're tackling something a bit paradoxical, you might say, the silent data struggle in the world of research.
Mm.
You'd naturally assume, with all the science happening, data just flows freely between researchers. But it turns out it's not that simple.
Not at all. Our sources, particularly a really insightful piece by Christine Borgman, highlight this. It's quite an intricate problem.
Right. So she talks about this unprecedented deluge of data, but actually sharing it, that's where things get sticky. Let's dive into why.
It is fascinating. I mean, the research world is swimming in data now. We've got incredible new methods, new instruments generating just vast amounts.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's huge pressure to share it all. You see it coming from, major funding agencies like the NSF, the National Science Foundation, and the NIH.
The National Institutes of Health, yeah.
Exactly. They now require these detailed data management plans right in the grant proposal.
That seems like a big step.
Oh, it is. And top journals, like Science,
Yeah.
they're also demanding that the underlying data is available when you publish.
So the pressure's definitely on. You mentioned the NSF requirement for a data management plan. That really sounds like a tipping point, pushing towards more openness.
It certainly felt like one. But, and this is the kicker, despite all these policies, real robust data sharing, it's still pretty common in only a few specific fields. Think astronomy, maybe genomics.
Okay, so not everywhere.
Not by a long shot. In many, many other areas, it's almost like this dirty little secret. The data often doesn't really go much further than the team that originally collected it.
Huh. So why? What are the actual barriers making it so hard?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And a core issue is just defining what data even is.
You mean it's not just numbers, spreadsheets?
Far from it. I mean, sometimes it is, but often it's much more complex. Borgman points out data can be physical samples, things collected out in the field.
Like water samples from a beach, maybe?
Exactly. Or it could be detailed field notes, specific software code, calibration details for instruments, even archival records someone spent years digging up.
Wow, okay.
And these things are often really, really hard to understand once you take them out of their original context.
I can see that. So it depends on who's looking at it and why they need it.
Precisely. What counts as data is often shaped by a specific community of interest. Different fields, even different research groups, might define and use information in, very different ways.
That makes sense.
And you also have these broad categories: observational data, computational, experimental, records data, and each one brings its own set of challenges for sharing.
And then you layer on the practical hurdles. Sound like they just stack up.
They really do. A lot of data collection is incredibly labor-intensive. It's handcrafted, as the source puts it.
Handcrafted, like artisanal data.
Sort of. Think about someone spending years in dusty archives or carefully collecting those beach samples day after day, making that kind of information easily shareable. It takes a huge amount of extra effort.
Yeah, that's not trivial.
Not at all. And even data collected by machines, like huge telescopes, still needs significant expertise, domain knowledge to interpret correctly. It's not just raw output.
Okay, so it's complex and resource intensive. Are there other things stopping people? Disincentives?
Oh, absolutely. There's often a lack of reward or even basic credit for the effort of sharing data. Researchers worry, and sometimes rightly so, about their data being misused or misinterpreted.
I can see that being a concern.
Then you have intellectual property issues, confidentiality, especially with human subjects data,
Yeah.
and just the cost, frankly. Properly documenting and curating data so someone else can actually use it is expensive work.
It sounds like a minefield, yet despite all these challenges, there is this big push to share. What's driving that?
Good question. There are powerful reasons, often with different, sometimes even conflicting motivations behind them. Let's break down maybe 4 key ones.
Okay.
First, and this is a big one, to reproduce or verify research findings. This is held up as the gold standard of science.
Right. Checking the work, making sure it holds up.
Exactly. Confirming findings, ensuring public money was well spent. But true reproducibility, it's incredibly difficult in practice.
How so?
Well, it often requires more than just the data. It needs what they call tacit knowledge, the unspoken craft, the specific lab conditions, things that just don't get written down in a data set. So for many kinds of research, perfect reproducibility is problematic.
That's a really important nuance. Okay, so beyond verification, what's another driver?
Another major rationale is to make the results of publicly funded research available. The argument is simple. Public money paid for it, so the public should benefit from the results, including the data.
Makes intuitive sense. Public money's for public good.
It does. And policies are definitely moving in this direction, trying to make data available. But the actual practices, they still vary a lot between different funding agencies, like, say, the NIH versus the UK's ESRC. It's not uniform.
Got it. Patchwork, not a smooth highway. What else?
Then there's the idea to enable others to ask new questions using existing data.
Ah, like building on previous work.
Exactly. Or combining data sets in novel ways. Think meta-analysis or these data mashups people talk about. Trying to find new patterns, new discoveries by pooling information.
The whole big data promise, right?
Right. It's definitely alluring. But again, the force reminds us you still need that deep domain expertise to properly assess, clean, and integrate different data sets. It's not automatic magic.
Still needs the human expert touch. Okay, one more rationale.
Yes, the fourth one is broader, to advance the overall state of research and innovation. The idea here is that widespread data sharing could lead to a kind of fourth paradigm of science.
A fourth paradigm. What does that mean?
It suggests a shift where discovery is driven more directly by analyzing vast amounts of data, maybe even more than by traditional theory or experiment alone. It's about building a richer foundation for knowledge, getting more eyes on the data, diversifying perspectives.
Maximizing the value of the data we already have.
Precisely. And the key here is curating data in ways that genuinely add value, making it truly usable, not just dumping it somewhere.
So it's clear this whole area of sharing research data is, well, just as Borgman described it, an intricate and difficult problem.
Absolutely.
To really unlock the benefits of this data deluge, we can't just say share everything. We need to figure out which data can realistically be shared, who should share it, with whom, under what kinds of conditions, why we're sharing it in that specific case, and crucially, what the effects will be.
That's the crux of it. The conversation isn't really about if data should be shared anymore. Most agree in principle. It's about how we navigate this complex web of definitions, incentives, costs, and practicalities to make sharing truly effective and useful.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What incredible breakthroughs are just sitting there waiting if we could collectively figure out how to crack this data sharing conundrum? Something to think about.